And meanwhile, a new survey out shows that more young people are likely to identify as being part of the LGBTQ community than millennials are, baby boomers or seniors over 70. And today, ABC Action News in-depth reporter Anthony Hill taking a closer look at how society is changing.
Being transgender always has its up and downs.
Many in the LGBT community will tell you discrimination against them is alive and well. But there's definitely less of it with the increase in LGBT visibility and society becoming more tolerant.
I feel very privileged to be able to be as free as Elliot as I want to be.
More people than ever before identify as being somewhere on the LGBT spectrum. But this comes after a long and dark history of systemic discrimination and violence against those communities.
There was a huge period of time where it was illegal to be a man who has sex with men.
And it took activists to literally put their lives on the line to fight in order to exist.
It was very revolutionary to be public about yourself. And that's what I chose to do.
This is Elliot Darrow. At 23 years old, he's a Generation Z trans man. He tells me he realized his true identity when he started college.
I lost a few people, and some people had to warm up to the idea, and others were just, oh, you're Elliot now, and that's okay, you're still the same person.
Elliot is a part of a generation that is more likely than any other to self-identify as being LGBT.
And I think a lot of that has to do with education. A lot of people are able to find the words that describe themselves, and before they might not have had those words.
According to a new Gallup survey, 5.6% of American adults now identify as LGBT. That's up from 4.5% back in 2017. One of the reasons why we're seeing more people identify as being on the spectrum is because younger generations are more likely than older generations to identify as being something other than heterosexual. You can see here, out of all of the generations since 1946, adults who are part of Generation Z, born between 1997 and 2002, make up the largest share of those who identify as LGBT.
I do a significant amount of work with the LGBTQ plus communities.
Romel Santiago is a therapist, and he says he believes one of the reasons young people are feeling comfortable with coming out as LGBT is because of societal strides in acceptance and tolerance.
I definitely believe that where we're at today is a huge step from where we were 5, 10, 20, 30 years ago.
Romel says because of a history of violence and, in many cases, accepted discrimination against the LGBT community, adults who are now middle-aged and older were forced to stay silent about who they really were.
Just that in and of itself is enough to force folks not to feel comfortable, not to take on certain labels, and to be forced into essentially the closet.